Was that Faro Automated Solutions? That's what it said. 12 levels? Holy crap. Alright.
You are 355,510 days overdue for your meeting with Mr. Farron. Please proceed to the 35th floor.
Wait. 350,000. That's hundreds of years ago. What's going on?
So they have a concept of years. Hold on, before we do that. Just want to make sure I'm not leaving anything behind. And the consensus seems to be no. Nothing else going on. I feel like that there's something worth finding. The focus will most likely find it. Or there could be another one of those like power cells that I found early on. That's another possibility. Oops. What are you doing? Get off the tables. Can I interact with this or not? Oh. Never mind.
The protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, quantum encryption, black quartz stuff, way beyond military grade. That's what you demanded, so that's what we delivered.
You don't code something you can't crack. All we need is a backdoor. Upload the latest service pack update and the problem goes away.
You specifically forbade us from leaving anything resembling a backdoor in code. Every protocol to Black Quartz standard. Your words. Look, if you need me to fudge some projections, it's nothing we haven't done before.
I don't need fudged projections. I need a way to reassert control over the Hearts Timor swarm.
I don't know what to tell you, Ted. You're asking the impossible.
So, codes. They needed codes of some kind to control the machines. But they got out of control. Sounds bad.
So, military contracts or something? Perhaps? We're talking backdoors into code, like... topical. Timely. Called it a swarm, too. Alright, the office is that way, so we're just gonna divert. Apparently nothing worthwhile in this one either.
A Deathbringer. Or a statue of one, anyway. A machine built to kill. And they honored it?
Welcome to Faro Automated Solutions, where all the problems of tomorrow are being solved today. With over 25,000 human employees based in nations and corporate holdings across the globe, Faro leads the world in every sector of self-sustaining, fully automated technology. From revolutionary consumer products close to home, like the Faro Focus, To the dynamic chariot line of peacekeeping robots halting bloodshed in conflict zones across the globe, Faro remains committed to making the future smarter, brighter, safer, and always surprising. Faro Automated Solutions. For every problem of life, a smart solution.
So they made the focus. 25,000 people? That's bigger than a tribe. So they made machines and devices. I guess those things were common in their world.
Huh. Okay. Deception log? Field Commandant Dang of the Indo-Malay Agricultural Combine arrived with his delegation. Refreshments to be served before their 10:15 sales presentation on the chariot line. Per instructions, food will be vegetarian only. Oh no, we've gone so far into the future where everybody's a vegetarian. Sander Agnew, Vice President of Territorial Integrity from Fresh Grounds Coffee Global, arrived with his entourage. Refreshments will be served for the 10:30 a.m. presentation on the chariot line. For instruction, we'll use Fresh Grounds Tacoma blend. No artificial creamers. So that happened. Called security and janitorial to clean up the coffee that was spilled. Actually, more like thrown. I wasn't aware that the Indo-Malay Combine grows coffee beans. That Fresh Grounds acquisition team has tried to take their fields by force, repeatedly. Being Commandant Dang and Agnew by the hair for a second there. Who schedules these things? I'm supposed to drop a line to sales. This can't happen again. So trivial business stuff. Except for they had a little bit of a snafu.
What were they doing here?
Alright, Elizabeth Sobek. Born March 11th, 2020. Oh, so her birthday's not too far off. Is an American scientist, roboticist, and engineer, widely regarded as one of the greatest minds of the 21st century. Born and raised outside Carson City, Nevada, she enrolled at Stanford University at age 13, earning a Bachelor of Science in Experimental Physics and Computer Science at age 16. That's pretty impressive. She completed her PhD in Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Design at Carnegie Mellon in 2040. Joined Faro Automated Solutions as a junior scientist the same year, rising quickly to chief scientist at the age of 22. For the next 8 years, her green robot designs played a vital role in realizing the environmental cleanup and detoxification efforts of the clawback decade, propelling FAS to the forefront of its field. In 2048, she suddenly resigned from FAS, protesting the company's pivot to automated military technologies. There you go. I was gonna say, how did they go from that to military stuff? In 2049, she founded Miriam Technologies, a firm devoted to life-positive robotics and other technologies. Miriam has since become one of the largest suppliers of green robots, winning numerous awards and accolades, including the 2053 Nobel Prize for Physics and the 2056 Rachel Carson Award for Environmental Progress. Okay, so it seems like...
Corporation.
Oh, there you go.
A group of people not unlike a tribe. And they made machines.
Yeah, go on.
I've uploaded some data files to your focus. They'll help you understand.
Oh, I read, like the one I just read. Was it just the one for Sobek? Yeah, it's the same one. All right, Ted Faro. American entrepreneur and business magnate. He's founder of Faro Automated Solutions, the largest corporation of all time. World's wealthiest individual and first ever trillionaire. Born and raised Salt Lake City, enrolled in the University of California, UCLA, actually. As well just abbreviate it. Where he studied business for 2 years before dropping out in 2033 to start FAS. But struggled as first, the company broke through at the end of the troubled 2030s with the popular lines of personal servitors and bodyguard bots. And exploded when its famous line of green robots led the race to solve the climate crisis during the 2040s clawback. At the end of that decade, FAS opened a military defensive branch, dominating the world market for automated military platforms by 2053. The success of FAS has made Mr. Farrow the world's best-known businessman, one of its most sought-after speakers, and a major voice in politics, culture, and international affairs. Okay, so he made a ton of money out of pivoting to military technology, not unheard of. Corporation, noun. Okay. I think we've learned enough there. Aloy gets her first business lesson.
Now I know this must seem like a bizarre change in direction. I mean, we're Farrow Automated Solutions, right? #1 robotics firm in the world. Why would we clear our production slate to fabricate human-operated vehicles and weapon systems, the relics of the past? All I can say at this juncture is... trust me. We will be exploiting a massive, growth opportunity by retooling and reallocating capacity according to my plan. So I will need revised projections of mass fabrication velocity across every pipeline within 36 hours.
So they were making machines, then they stopped to make other kinds of weapons? Why?
Suppose we'll find out in his office.
The air. There's no smell to it. Not even old death. Nothing natural.
Lab's got quite the ominous color. All this for just a supply crate, huh? No logs, nothing. All this light behind here. Kinda looks peculiar. Okay, that's where I came from. Couldn't remember if there was another path or not.
Another cave-in. But I could get through.
Alright, hey reception, if that is your real name. Wanna know who scheduled an Lane right next to Fresh Guns? That would be me, Senior VP of Sales. Want to know why? After that little hair-pulling incident, both sides increased their bids by 40%. I'll explain, because your receptionist level brain probably requires it. Those two sides are fighting. Now what do we sell? That's right, combat machines. We want them to hate each other. So they will try to fight each other with what? That's right again, combat machines. Which they pay us a lot of money for. Success. You go back to serving coffee with a blank smile and let me do my much more complicated job. Thanks a bunch. Mr. Friedkin, to you. Douchebag, to you. Oh, okay. This is the way. Alright, well played. Well played. You got me. Was not expecting that to collapse. Ladder here.
I bet I can use that as a ramp to get back up.
Welcome to Faro Automated Solutions, where all the problems...
I'd already been here, right? Okay. So this is just like a pre-made way out.
Looks like I can climb here.
Yeah, this looks way more convoluted. But that was actually seemingly the way to go. Can we go back, please? That death.
Made it.
But I want to go back. Okay. I say I'd be really annoyed if we were just stuck there. The left. We're gonna skip over that for right now. Wait, was that a door to the same? No.
Looks like the way up. What's left of it.
Hold on, there's way too much to search here first. We'll loot our way backward. Automated lockdown. All non-essential systems have entered hibernation. Due to the increasing frequency of violent protests targeting the campus, the security of FAS employees can no longer be guaranteed. Therefore, we have taken the difficult decision to shutter this facility indefinitely. Staff will be briefed on a block-by-block basis regarding proper procedure for archiving and/or disposal of project-related data and materials. ISAC and a crisis team will conduct exit review, or all areas have been locked, or all areas are locked down. Priority messaging is staff in E and F blocks. Treat the current lockdown situation as an exercise, but do not attempt to release the hatches, or otherwise exit the buildings. It's just an exercise, right? Reminder that while high-sec personnel remain committed to employee safety during the current unfortunate events, personal firearms must be relinquished when presenting per identiscan. Additional public access roads en route to the campus have now been closed, early waiting time at the outer security cordons. ISAC reminds all staff that the campus remains off limits to the public. Following Reese examined security issues, all staff are reminded that presenting for identiscan and displaying your security badges prominently at all times for image analytics are both mandatory. Sheesh. Doesn't sound like a very fun place to work. Alright, Operator alert. In light of recent acts of terrorism directed at the rapid transit system, HiTech now offers a Big Brother initiative to accompany staff traveling from off-site. Sign-up is required and strongly encouraged. How is it encouraged and required at the same time? That doesn't sound like encouraged at all.
Faro, at the corporation. They blamed this place for something. Something bad.
Blamed them for the machine uprising, for World War III. A lot of reading in this section. Alright. Spiritual Summit. Paula, recent events have sharpened my perspective, and I think that I, and FAS in general, have been neglecting the spiritual side of things. Not under any specific religious framework, of course, but in a more general sense, as in not giving enough thought to our shared values, hopes, and aspirations for the afterlife. That's curious. I'd like you to reach out to religious leaders of every stripe with the intention of scheduling a conference soon, very soon. I'll have more thoughts about the agenda later, but for now, let's put out some feelers and see if we can lock something in. Make it a big tent. No kooks, but anyone with a credible audience. Let's go to Lux and make it clear we'll spare no expense. So all the text messages, like, or it says text, it was either mail or text. They all abbreviate thanks as THX, which, for whatever reason, annoys me. Like, it's really not saving you that many letters. Like, acronyms are fine. But if it's, you know, saving you like 2 letters, that used to matter back when texting was in its infancy, and you know, you had a limited amount of text, which is crazy to think about now. But yeah, brevity doesn't really matter anymore.
Scarab combines conventional and information warfare capabilities in one package. Designed for high-speed, all-terrain reconnaissance, it boasts the world's highest survivability rating of any Scout-class autonomous agent. Maybe it's the Scarab's emergency biomass conversion systems that ensure it always makes it back to base, even if fuel supply lines have been interdicted. Or maybe it's the Scarab's ability to slave enemy robots to its own network. Now that's force multiplication. Add a prehensile manipulator arm that can handle a host of functions, from 360-degree less lethal riot management to surgical repairs of Allied chariot line models, and you've got the workhorse of any cutting-edge peacekeeping fleet.
The Corruptor. Slave enemy robots to its own network. It sounds like it's talking about how it corrupts machines.
Yep. Alright, what's next?
The BOR-7 Horus. Imagine your complete engagement ecosystem comprehensively managed by a high-speed learning machine network. Whether your need is to replace battlefield losses or intensify force projection, the Horus's onboard manufacturing capabilities mean you'll never get stuck waiting for the next arms delivery. Simply redefine your force parameters, and the Horus will fabricate additional units to fill the ranks for an affordable per-unit licensing fee. Meanwhile, the biomass conversion systems of other chariot line models allow them to keep the Horus fueled, repaired, and ready. extending its operational tolerances beyond that of any competing Titan-class platform. That's the Horus advantage. Always regulating, always ready. The future of automated warfare made real today.
The Metal Devil. So these were Faro machines too.
I don't know which one they're talking about.
They can make more of themselves.
That's what I mean, we know that.
Stop them.
That's what we found in the cauldrons. They could manufacture more.
The FSP-5 Khopesh provides a one-size-fits-all solution to main battle force capability. Metamaterial construction delivers unmatched recoil dampening, allowing you to field any weapon package that conforms to your budget needs and conflict resolution profile. Patented biomass conversion systems allow extended emergency operations with minimal environmental impact. Multilinear target processing provides simultaneous real-time threat analysis and legal review for autonomous domestic operations. Or control can be slaved to the Swarm's neural network for weapons-free force application. Either way, when it's time to call out the big guns, it's time to call Khopesh.
The Deathbringer. So this was the heavy hitter. Main battle force indeed.
Sheesh. So they've got a full array of options here. And I think that was this floor. There's quite a bit of world building here.
Gonna be a long way up. Frozen metal most of the way. Not making this easy, Dr. Sobek.
Just trying to get to my
Someone's
appointment on
confirmed a way to
time.
Hang on up here. Guess I can too.
Let's stop off on this floor for a minute. Hold on. Nope, stop climbing. What was the other way on this elevator shaft? It kind of seems like it's going to the same place.
Forget the cold. Think of the sun on your skin.
I say, is that just the other way? Well, can't get down from here, so... Yes, this is the other way. Okay.
Crisis that began when they engaged in unauthorized offensive operations against robots and human personnel of the Hearts Timor Energy Combine. Now, I wish that I could relate that the crisis has been exaggerated, but it's not. The Peacekeepers have not responded to stand-down codes, and by all signs, they appear to be replicating at a precipitous rate. Now, what I can promise you, can absolutely assure you, is that I am already devoting every possible resource towards reaching a speedy conclusion to this issue. So when you hear the bad talk about us against this company in the days, maybe weeks to come, just bear in mind that we will get past this. That a day's coming when none of this will matter.
Peacekeepers. That's what they called their machines. They were built for war, not peace.
Yep. Okay, so they had a problem where naturally when you build self-replicating machines, and you don't have a way to stop them, naturally that's going to be the conclusion. I'm something out of this crate, or is there another one that? Preserved meat all the way up here. Who would have thought? That's one way to do it. I totally thought she could make that jump. Oh, hold on. Text log. Alright, all hands on deck. Gina, ever hear of the Melville Island Fruit Association? Neither had I, until they filed suit against us this morning. Apparently it's a little island paradise off the coast of Australia, population 2,700, all of whom hate us. Now that a Stray Hearts Timur unit is chowing down on their largest mango orchard. That brings the official count of Heart Timur related lawsuits to 127, most of them from private companies. There's also a bunch from individuals, nation states, and NGOs. That's not even counting the mother of all liability claims from Hearts itself. Call every external firm we've ever used, then call their competitors. We're going to need every corporate defense lawyer we can find who's still half sober and on the bar. So eventually, machines just decided to do their own thing. What I'm trying to figure out is they're talking about the green machines first. So was there a problem with those?